Yo, what's going on, party people, and happy new year. Today is officially what's today? January the 2nd. So I gave y'all the first off, you know what I'm saying? I was like, let me let you get back, to your normal routine of doing things. But today is the 2nd, and I told you in the last video that YouTube is not easy. And so I'm going to be doing a series of content playlists. Maybe this will turn into a masterclass or whatever. Over the next month, next 30 or so days, or whatever, on showing you what YouTube actually is. A lot of you are coming from TikTok. A lot of you are coming from a lot of different places. A lot of you just say, listen, I want to get started. I've been putting it off for a long time. I've got something to say. I've got something to show off. I want to start a YouTube channel. If you're a beginner, this is definitely going to be the most realistic place on the internet for you. You know what I'm saying? I can't promise you or guarantee you anything other than you're going to grow as a creator. You're going to develop a level of trust and rapport and integrity with your audience. You're going to find the audience that has been assigned to your voice, and you're going to build a library worth of content that you can use to monetize on the platform or off the platform. I can't guarantee you that you're going to go viral. I can't guarantee you that you can get 100,000 subscribers. I can't guarantee that you're going to make $1 million. But what I can guarantee is that I'm going to give you the tips, the tools, and the tricks that are going to put you in the position to do all of that if that's what you decide to do. So if that's the type of content you like, you're in the right place. Like I said, we keep it 100% real, no hate, no shade, just pure facts. That's it. Uncut, unadulterated, raw tools, tips, and realistic, practical things that are going to help you build a sustainable channel. I don't want you to win the lottery, get rich, and then lose everything in a couple of months. I want you to build this model the right way. So if you like that type of content, feel free to hit that like button, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And while you're at it, click that bell so you can be notified every single time I post new content to the channel. But let's go ahead and dive right in. I told y'all again in the last video that YouTube is not easy. YouTube is rewarding. YouTube is challenging. YouTube is life-changing. YouTube will bring the best and the worst out of you. YouTube will show you who you are. YouTube will show you who other people are. YouTube will show you how strong you are. It will show you how weak you are. It will show you how fragile other people are. It will show you how messed up the internet really is. At the end of the day, YouTube is one of the most rewarding things that I have ever done in my life. And so for those of you that are coming to the channel, I will tell you, it's not for the faint at heart. It's a grind. It requires consistency. And y'all know I don't really like that word. So it requires a level of capacity that you have to determine from day one. What do I have the capacity to do? You know what I'm saying? So we're going to talk about that. 3 things I want you to do. 3 things we're going to talk about. And if you see me looking down, I just wrote down some notes or whatever, because I did a video and I tell y'all, hey, before you just start recording, there's no shame, in looking down at the notes. Make sure you make eye contact with your people so they can know you're being true to what you're saying. But number 1, the first thing I want you to do is replace the word algorithm with the word audience. Do not allow the word algorithm to become part of your vocabulary. All right? Replace the word algorithm with audience. You do not create content for the algorithm. You create content for your audience. Why? Because your audience is the one that determines the algorithm. A lot of people are always talking about the algorithm, how to beat the algorithm. You can't beat the algorithm if you can't beat your audience. And why are you trying to beat your audience? You should be trying to meet your audience where you are and take them on a journey and an experience with you. So I'm not in competition or a race with the people that I'm trying to serve. Starting to make sense to y'all while we got a lot of the problems that we got going on the platform. But yeah, replace the word algorithm with the word audience. Your audience is the one that sets the temperature for your content. It's a lot like branding. So those of you who have been following me for a while, you should know what I'm getting ready to say. Those of you who are new to the channel, welcome to Create, Inspire, and Solve, where I show you how to build a better brand, grow your business, and create a community around the things you're most passionate about, using content, using tech, using tools, using microphones, cameras, lights, and all of that jazz. But one of the things I teach as it relates to branding is marketing is how you feel about yourself. Branding is how your audience feels about you. Too many of us are creating content to be great marketers because we are getting high off of our own supply. We love the way we'll look. We're always trying to make a first impression instead of making a lasting impression. Marketing is about making a great first impression. Branding is about making a lasting impression, because branding is about making sure you show up clear, you're concise, you're consistent as it relates relates to content. You're being integral and you're being authentic and you're being the real you. We don't need to see another version of Mr. Beast. We need to see you. All right. So I want to see you creating content for your tribe, for your people, for your audience, not for the algorithm. Your audience will tell you what algorithm you need to subscribe to. And a lot of people are just throwing darts in the dark and they're not landing on anything because they're looking at the overall YouTube algorithm instead of looking at the algorithm that their audience is actually creating and saying, hey, Walter, we know you like to talk about this, but this is the type of content we need for you to create. And a lot of people struggle with that. A lot of people struggle with that because that doesn't always get the most views. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't always get the most subscribers. But in the end, it is the thing that's going to be the most sustainable, and it's going to be the thing that's going to keep you from burning out. So number one, the first thing I need you to do on this first day of these 30 days, but this second day of 2005 is I need you to replace the word algorithm with the word audience. All right, we're moving pretty quickly here. Number two, the second thing I need you to do is something you've probably heard before, but it is paramount. It is crucial. My grandmother has this thing. I say it all the time. Start out like you can hold out. You know what I'm saying? So people say it's not how you start, it's how you finish. That is a lie. The start is important. The middle is important. And the finish is important. The start sets the pace for everything else that you do. This is why I tell people don't use somebody else's finish line to determine how you start your race. If you're just starting to make content, don't use me as a comparison to say, well, I don't have the lights. I don't have the camera. I don't have this. I don't have that. And even if you do have all of that, I don't have the personality. I don't have the flow. You're not going to have it unless you just have your God-given talent that is just put here on earth to just blow up every platform that you're on. Excuse me, no pun intended. But, you know, like, why are you comparing your start to my finish or anybody else's finish? Never use somebody else's finish line to determine how you start your race. But don't underestimate how you start your race. Sha'Carri Richardson, because what have we seen? She's a great finisher. But there are times where you will find yourself in a situation where if somebody gets a better start on you, there will come a time where you'll lose. And that's not hate. That's not shade. Because I love Sha'Carri, and Sha'Carri bounced back after the Olympics and did her thing. But what did we see in the Olympics? That start that she has always had trouble with, it finally caught up with her, and she didn't have enough time to actually recoup. The one thing with content creation is sometimes you may not have enough time to recoup and get back to where it is you were supposed to be if you have a false start or you don't have a strong start. So I want you to start out like you can hold out. Define your why and set goals. It's the beginning of the month. It's the beginning of the year. You know what I'm saying? Like, we just changed seasons about a week ago. You know, it's winter. You have to define your why and set goals. And I know this is really broad. People always talking about that. A lot of you are doing vision boards. I need you to kind of do the same thing for YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Why are you here? Like, what are you here for? What's your why? Like, what is there something that you're passionate about? Are you an entrepreneur or a business owner and you have a product or a service that you want to create content around and inform people about? Are you a thought leader? Are you creative? Are you funny? Are you athletic? Are you just motivating? Are you interesting? Are you that intriguing that people will just sit here and watch you? Are you Kai Cenat? Are you Kevin Hart? Are you Joe Rogan? What is it? Like, what is your why? Like, and once you figure out what that is, like, I want you to actually write out your goals. What is your intentions? Once we determine why you're here, okay, what are you going to do when you're here? And how are you going to do it? And when are you going to do it? And where are you going to do it? Like, do you want to get on YouTube just to make money? Do you want to get on YouTube to spread a message? Do you want to get on YouTube and create content, you know what I'm saying, just for the sake of doing like what is your reasoning for and the reason I say that, because that sounds cliche, it sounds very boring, but the reason I challenge you and say do that is because YouTube is not easy. And there are going to be some days where you do not want to create, but there has to be a why that reminds you, you know what, I'm tired, I really don't feel like it, but this is the reason I'm doing it for. Athletes, we typically we go through struggles and different things like that, but we typically bounce back better than the average person does because there is a goal. You know what I'm saying? It's like, man, I don't feel like working out. I don't feel like going to the gym today, but you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to be the best at my position. Do you have what it takes to have that level of determination to be the best at what it is that you do? Do you even want to be the best? You know what I'm saying? I want to be an authority within this space where people say, if I'm trying to learn how to create content, if I'm trying to learn how to start a YouTube channel, Walter Jeanette is one of the first names that comes to mind on people that I know that's going to keep it 100 with me and keep it real. And that's going to give me real, realistic, sustainable, actionable, achievable, you know what I'm saying, things that I can do to put things in place that are really going to help me grow. I want to be that level of authority. Do you want to be that? Because everybody doesn't want to be that. And that's okay. You just have to figure out what it is that you want to do. Again, as my grandmother would say, start out like you can hold out. That way, when we get to the middle and it starts getting murky, if you bow out, I understand. Because I'd be like, well, you didn't really set no goals in the beginning. So, I mean, if you just stop creating content, it's not really going to matter. But if you said, hey, I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, I'm trying to get to 4,000 watch hours, I'm trying to make an additional $1,000 a month, I'm trying to turn this into a business, I'm trying to do something that can actually create generational wealth for me and my family, then I can hold you to that. And I can say, listen, it's going to be hard. It's going to be difficult. Nobody told me that the road would be easy, but I don't believe he brought me this far to leave me. And I'm not going to leave you. But if you don't write that down in the beginning, nobody has anything to hold you to. And maybe that's the problem, that a lot of us don't want to be held accountable, not even to our own goals and to our own dreams, because we have a reference point for failure, but we don't have a reference point for success. And this is why I'm here to help you, because a lot of you don't have a blueprint for what this looks like. So in the words of Uncle Shay Shay, a fool learns from his own mistakes. I'm not telling you you're not going to make mistakes. I'm just trying to help you navigate how this thing is really going to happen. Because no shade to anybody that's out here telling you you can make this amount of money and this, that, and the third, and YouTube is supporting small creators and all of that stuff. That's cool. And there's some truth to that. But that's not for the majority of us. You know what I'm saying? That's not going to happen for a lot of us, for most of us. So that's where I come in to level set and say, hey, let's just keep it 100, keep it real. So number one, you know what I'm saying? Replace the word algorithm with the word audience. And then number two, define your why, set your goals, and write those things down. How many views do you want to get a month? How many subscribers do you want to get a month? How fast do you want to get monetized? Because once you write down the what, we can then write down the how to see how do we set smart goals that are realistic and being able to get to that. And do we need to adjust our goals? All right, that's a conversation for another day. And I'm already at 12 minutes, so let me hurry up. The third thing I need you to do, I kind of want to do some word replacement again, but I'm going to immediately use it in the beginning. I want you to choose your niche, but I want you to replace the word niche with identity. I want you to choose your niche, but I want you to replace the word niche with identity. I want you to choose your identity. Who is it that you are serving? Because being a content creator is an act of service. What did I tell y'all in the beginning? Replace the word algorithm with the word audience. So 1 and 3 goes hand in hand. Once you replace the word algorithm with the word audience and you understand what your why is and what keeps you coming back, you know how to keep people coming back. Because this is the way they identify you. They've built the level of trust and rapport with you over time because you show up clear, you show up concise, you show up consistent, you show up authentically you and the best, worst, real version of yourself, transparent, whatever version that is. We know what we're getting. We're not getting a carbon copy of somebody else. We're not getting a Photoshop version of somebody else. We are getting the real you. So again, I want you to choose your identity. Who is it that you are serving? Who are your people? Who is your tribe? I always tell y'all that there is an audience that is assigned to your voice, but in order to find that audience that's assigned to your voice, what happens when your voice reverberates? What resonates in the air? What do people hear when they hear you speak? You know what I'm saying? It's like, what do people hear come out of your mouth when you talk? Are you believable? Do they believe what you say? Is there a level of conviction to what you're saying where people are watching and be like, oh my God, like he's not even selling me anything. But if he was, I'd buy because I believe it. Why? Because people don't buy products. People buy people. So I need you to choose your identity, choose who you're going to be, choose what you're going to serve your people. This is lunch. This is breakfast. This is dinner. This is a snack. This is a nightcap. This is coffee. This is whatever you want to call it. This is tea at high noon. What are we serving? What is on the platter? What can people expect to get from your restaurant? You have to see YouTube as a storefront. In the next couple of days, we're going to be talking about branding and how to actually set up your channel and cover photos and all this different type of things. I'm going to kind of take you behind the scenes of how I did my stuff and some things that I think will help you. But you have to start looking at your profiles as a digital storefront. And so when people come across your profile, is this somewhere I want to shop? People are like, dang, YouTube is that deep? Yes. It's all about human buying behavior. It's all about the psychology of why people do what they do. So people are looking at your YouTube channel just like they're looking at Amazon. Why? Because people don't buy products, people buy people. So typically when people come across a new product, the first thing they do is go to the reviews because they don't trust what you are saying because you're selling, but they trust what people say about you, which again goes to what we said about branding. Marketing is how you feel about yourself, but branding is how your audience feels about you. So in you deciding what your niche, tomato, tomato, potato, whatever suits your case, you like it, I love it, you like it, you buy it. Whatever you decide your niche or your niche is going to be, really press upon your mind to say, okay, what is my identity? What are people coming here for? And I want you to stick to that. The reason I say use the word identity versus niche is because you don't necessarily get locked in. You know what I'm saying? Because a creator like myself, I can talk about a lot of different things. Now, this is not a channel that I'm going to just go to the left and start talking about sports. That wouldn't make sense. I would need to create another channel for that. I feel like I just answered that question for somebody. Should I do a variety channel and I'll put everything? You can, but it's weird. It's not really a blueprint for success to do that. So you got to figure out what the main thing is that you do. We all got fingers and independently they are great on their own, but they lack the power individually of what they could become when you bring all of your fingers together and you make a fist. You slap somebody open-handed, it might hurt. Punch him and see what happens. Slap him, you'll knock him out. Punch him, you'll break the jaw. I'll break your face. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we're doing in 2020. Well, no, we're not breaking faces, but we're breaking the mold of being boxed in. So I don't want you to so much be boxed in, but I do want you to recognize what is my identity on this platform? What is my identity in this space? What do people come here for? What am I serving on the menu? I want you to look at it like that. Because here's the thing. McDonald's serves things other than burgers. Burger King sells things other than burgers. But what are you known? Wendy's sells things other than burgers. Bojangles sells other things other than chicken. Popeye sells things other than, but what are you known for? You know what I'm saying? Once you get clear on that, people come for the main thing and they stay for everything else. That's why I tell y'all this whole like for like, subscribe for subscribe, support me and I support you is cool, but it's not sustainable because that may get them there, but what is going to keep them there? You know what I'm saying? It's like you meet a person, you go out on a blind date, they look amazing, and then they start talking, and you be like, ooh, that breath is kicking. Turns you off, doesn't it? Content creation is the same thing. So I don't want you to just look the part. I want you to look the part. I want you to sound the part, because when you find the audience that has been assigned to your voice, I want them to have the same reaction that you have when you watch my content. I want to have the same reaction that I have when I watch your content, and be like, yo, I'm in the right place. Like, this is home. These are my people. This is my tribe. This is a vibe. Where have y'all been? I've been looking for you my whole life. So again, we're right at about 18 minutes. So last minute, I'm gonna let y'all go. We're just gonna do a quick recap and try to do these in 20 minutes or less, more like 15. But again, number one, I want you to replace the word algorithm with the word audience. You're creating content for your audience, not the algorithm, because your audience actually sets the algorithm for your channel. All right, that's number one. Number two, define your why and set the goals. What is the reason you keep coming back and getting on camera? Because if you understand that, then you know how to clearly convey that to your audience and write those things down. Why do I keep coming back to this camera? Why do I keep getting on this microphone? I want to help you, but what does that lead to? What am I doing with that? You know, am I here because I want to make money? Am I here because I'm a coach or I have a product or a service or a business? Am I here because I'm just trying to get famous? What's your why? Write that down, and then we can figure out how you can get there. Last but not least, number 3, choose your niche, which is really your identity. What's on the menu? How do you listen to what I'm saying? How do you identify as it relates to being a creator, as it relates to being a server? Remember, creating content is an act of service. The quicker you understand that, the less stress you will have and the less pressure you will take off of yourself, because you will stop serving things that, number 1, are not on the menu, or number 2, that you can't cook. It's a lot of y'all out here trying to copy other people, but you don't serve that. You don't cook that. You've tried that. It's not good, and your audience has told you it's not good, so stop doing it. All right. So hopefully you've enjoyed that content. You know what I'm saying? Again, gonna be more information coming out. Do me a favor. I want you to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and click the bell so you can be notified every single time I post new content to the channel. But do yourself a favor, get my free quick start guide called Blow the Whistle. It's a free quick start guide showing you how to master the art of content creation, finding the audience that has been assigned to your voice. Link down in the description, click that. It'll give you a link to join my community, because I'm going to be sending a whole lot of goodies out via email, you know, and it's kind of easier to communicate with everybody as a whole via email. So you want to join the list. I'm not going to spam you. Again, I'm going to send you out some great information, great content, especially pertaining to the 30-day challenge. Do that. As a freebie, you get the quick start guide, and I'm telling you, like, that quick start guide is going to be eye-opening for you, whether you're a creative, a business owner, a thought leader, entrepreneur, whatever. If you're just starting, or if you've already started and you're not really experiencing the growth that you want to experience. So do that for me. And until next time, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Happy New Year, and let's get it started. But let's get it started the right way. I'll holler at y'all.